think we are. Yay! Hi! Not dead! Amazing, right? I know you're excited. And if your name's Melissa or Julie or Sarah, or if anyone actually getting ready for 3 days at the fair, you know what time it is. January means new strength circuit. We're about to go through it. This, on the surface, does not seem much more difficult than what I had y'all doing last month. And it's hard to see past Aspire, for sure. Once you've done Aspire and you understand how difficult that actually is, it's like, what could possibly be harder than that? Just a different type of hard. The reason this is going to be more difficult is because there's more to think about in this series. And you'll be so distracted by all the form things that you need to think about to stay upright. The good news is the time will pass really quickly. This is a 4-minute series, but it goes by in a heartbeat. So to do this, you do need something of a squishy ball. Do not go crazy. I don't need you to invest any money. I don't need you to, if you want to go buy a ball, I think this is like $5 on Amazon. The brand literally doesn't matter. Just make sure when you get it, you don't fill it up all the way. We don't want a ball. If the ball is too little, then it's not going to serve the purpose that we need. We need it. We're trying to make sure that our knees are in the right place. But I'll get to that in a minute. So first, before we go into Arse INFERNO, I want to say hi and thank you again for all of the generous donations over the past 6 weeks. I still can't believe that we nearly doubled our take. So when I announced on the Friday before New Year's, I think we had like 3 days left at Another Mother Runner, and I was like, thanks everybody for everything. We've raised $19,450. The final total is $32,428. I'm going through the numbers one more time before I make that announcement. I'm waiting to confirm 2 more corporate matches that were pretty generous, but yeah, that number is insane. I'm just like, insane. That's more money than we raised at the Junior League Gala the first 2 years that we had it here in Denver, which is, I'm not sure what's crazier, that total or the fact that I'm still in Junior League, but the things we do for our mom. Anyway, so I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit and talk you through all the things you have to worry about in Arse INFERNO. So, back when I was really little, I'm still tiny. I'm short. I know it's hard to tell on camera, but I'm super short. Back before I had 4 children and was running with much faster people than I could possibly hope to keep up with now. Whenever we did any strength work, we wore very little, mainly because we needed to see if the appropriate muscles were working. So that's the main reason I wear very little. Not to show off, just like this. After 4 children and stretch marks up to my arms and skin hanging out everywhere, I do this because I love you and I want you to get this right. Something I have not been calling out previously that I have noticed, because again, there's a lot to think about in a lot of these moves, is this part of your cage. When we think about our core, when we think about a 6-pack, we think about crunches, we think about sit-ups. When we think, we know that the TBA is really important because I've talked about it incessantly if you've trained with me for any period of time. The obliques are kind of important too, this part up here. And what I want you to focus on, it's really easy, and this is what I'm seeing in people that even when you do get low enough in a squat and your glutes are on, this is hanging out. Okay, when we're in a squat, when we're going up a hill, when we're fatiguing in an ultra marathon, like I know some of you are training for, this has to take over. Especially if as you get tired and your shoulders sag forward, then your lower back is going to be doing more and more and more and more and more work that it wasn't designed to do and doesn't want to do. So that's why I think about the concept of a cage, because it needs to all sort of lock together smoothly most of the time. So again, notice that difference when I go down, my glutes, but I'm not using my tibia, I'm not thinking about this, I'm not using my obliques, versus locking the cage. So this is what I want you to focus on for a few minutes before we get into the meat of Arse INFERNO. Whoops. I love seeing patients. Okay, actually, Joni, I'm so excited to see you. I'm excited to see you too, Kara. Hey, Lisa. Yay, Lisa. All right, so Lisa is a physical therapist, so if I get any of this wrong, feel free to call me out. When we squat down, when I say I want your collarbones open, I don't want you artificially pulling your shoulders back. When we do that, our shoulders go up, and we don't want that. We just want collarbones open, chest nice and open, and when that happens as we squat, think about knitting your ribs together. Big exhale. And think about when you breathe, it's a very small in and out motion, but you don't release your ribs. This matters. It's going to matter a whole lot more when you've been out there for several hours, you're tired, and you're wearing a camelback. Okay? Because that thing is going to weigh 100 pounds. You're going to start to chafe here. You're going to burn. You're going to bend a little bit to get away from the chafing places. And that's when it's all going to go to hell. And any diastasis recti that you had going into this is going to triple. And this is where hernias can come from. I'm not saying you need to be all like worried about it, but when muscles start to separate, things get exaggerated. It's a common complaint that I hear. It's like, how did my DR get worse? My control has gotten worse. I have an issue with my pelvic floor. It was fine before. That can come from this part not knitting together. So I guess if you're sitting in a desk chair right now, just roll your shoulders up, release it down, lock your cage. Remember, locking your cage is just a very gentle, subtle, that's it. It's trying to draw the lower parts of your shoulder blades together. It's not, not any of the shit I've seen you guys do. It's just that. It's a little subtle move, almost externally rotating your arms, bringing them together. So when you do that in the back, focus, deep breath, exhale, roll the shoulders back, lock your cage, and then think about the front now. As you exhale, knit those ribs together. Try to bring these sides, try to make them touch. You won't, or at least you don't need to. Worry about succeeding there. That is a totally locked cage, okay? And we've done these two cues without the mistake I've seen consistently for the past year, where everyone's like, I've got to lock my cage, ah! I'm like, whoa, man, that's just scary. All we want, that subtle in the back first, because when we stand up a little straighter, the TVA automatically engages. And then exhale, knitting the ribs together. This is a locked and loaded cage, okay? Locking your cage is all I want you to think about. Think about the back when you're running. When you're not running, we need to think about locking and loading to have proper form during a squat, during a fly, during any of the strength moves I'm going to ask you to do. Okay, see you soon. Oh no. I'm so sorry you're in between patients. I'm sorry you got bad data. And I'm sorry you're sick, Gretchen. That sucks. Bless your heart. Oh my God. Well, good news about being sick is you can dream about this. You don't have to do it. Yay! But you can sit there in bed. Exhale. If you can breathe at all. Exhale and try to knit those ribs together. Almost like you're trying to grab both sides and pull. Okay. So, if you see this in your training peaks, if you see this workout because you're doing 3 days at the fair, go down into that squat, open your collarbones, i.e. lock your cage from the back. Again, very subtle move. Exhale, knit those ribs together in the front. Shift your weight to the left take your right foot off the floor. In doing so, don't stand up. That's the temptation. And don't lean your body. That's another temptation. We want to have all of our weight centered over our left foot, our big toe off the ground so that we're not rolling out, pressing the ball of our foot into the ground, right? Because when we don't lift our toe, this is the tendency to come inward, and we don't want that. Knees straight ahead, lock from the back, load from the front, right foot off the ground, tiny one-legged pulses. And the whole time, you're focused, because I know this will be easy for you, because you've been doing all the hard stuff, but get as low as you can on one foot. We're two thoughts. One, keep those ribs knitted together. Two, watch your knee, not outward, not inward, straight down. Oops, moved too quickly. And the third thing to think about is ankle stability. You will probably feel this the first couple times you do it, right there at the base of your ankle. You might even feel some things in here pop. That's okay. If it's painful, let's talk about it. Let's see a PT. But broadly and generally speaking, those cords, it's okay to feel them popping. It's not something I would worry about. It's going to feel really awkward. Your ankles are going to feel tight. But going through this process of forcing them to find stability, it's going to save you in the long run when you're out there running 3 days at the fair. Okay, so that's your cue. I call this one the squatty series. We have a lot of people come to my house and they're like, you have a squatty potty. It blows their mind. I'm like, of course I have a squatty potty. I have 4 kids. You think I'm going to be throwing potty covers everywhere? Forget it. I just make them all stand. So that has always been such, anyone that comes to our house, I'm not even worried about it being clean, because I know the only thing I'm going to hear about for the rest of my damn life is the squatty potty in both bathrooms. So I was thinking about that when I came up with what I call the squatty series. You're welcome. So 1 minute, focus here, focus on that knee, focus on the ankle, and this is again a very tiny move. Gonna do that on their left leg, and then another minute on the right. Keep your hand here and don't hesitate to press it upward to remind you. Okay? Whoop. The next one, I like to have a little something to put my toes on, and my kids moved it. Dang kids. I would have had it all together if it wasn't for those dang kids. Oh well. Okay, we'll see if I can make this work. Okay. So I call this dual squatty calf raises, because again, going down into a squat, take your heels, I don't know how well we can see that, but back up. I don't really care how much of a lift you get here. I don't. If you have, I know at least one of my athletes has weights or access to barbells and dumbbells in her garage that her husband and kids use. Grab a big plate. Don't hesitate to step on the edge of it. So all we want to do here, go down really low, lock the back, load the front, then lift and lower the heel. You should feel this in your hamstring, in your little side glutes, and in your IT band. Though you might feel it in your calf too. Think about your body being still and nothing is really moving. except your heel. You're lengthening that heel cord and then lifting. And you feel what a difference it makes when you're both locked and loaded there. Sorry that was so awkward. I'm trying to balance over a hole. And that's never fun. Dang kids. Oh well. At least I'm not dead, right? Yeah, not dead. Okay. Hi, Mary. I'm so glad you're here. I love you too. Yeah, I love you more. In fact, yeah, sorry I've been off for a couple weeks, guys. I got really sick and then the kids were out of school and trying to find any time to stream. It's been difficult. But today I made my family disappear. I made my family disappear. Woo! I'm breathing heavy. All right, I'm also hungry. It's lunchtime. So the final move, squish ball, squatty squats. Yes, that is the name of the move. So we want to have that squish ball between your knees. Again, checking our form with our ankles. Lift our big toe off the ground, pressing the ball of the foot. Now again, big toe off the ground does not mean that. That is a sickle. If you see what my feet are doing right now, this is right, this is wrong. No sickling. Press the ball of your foot into the ground. Offset it by stretching your pinky toe and trying to get it to touch the ground. If you're not there yet, work on that. Play with it at night. Put your fingers between your toes, buy toe separators. Go get a pedicure so you can have it for the sole reason of having toe separators and bringing them home. And play with working in all the muscles in your feet and separating them and trying to reach the little pinky toe outwards. So the ball between your knees, making sure your feet are set straight ahead. Roll shoulders, lock the cage, load the front, squat with the open collarbones, right? Because again, the tendency here is to kind of hover forward to get lower. We want locked and loaded with the chest open. And maybe this is the first cue, because it's hard, like you're physically pulling your shoulders back. And then this is the second, to make sure you keep those ribs locked together. And then you can guess where we're going after that set in 2 weeks' time. So that is Arse Inferno, broken down for you by Coach MK, because you're coached and you're loved and you are winning at life. Fingers crossed, I should be here tonight, same channel, 7 p.m., doing my phone rolling. If you catch me live, you are free to ask me questions. Email is still a swamp pit of love. It's a beautiful, beautiful swamp pit. I'm just digging my way out as quickly as I can. I created a whole new email account a couple months ago when I started Twitch, just so all my notifications from Twitch would go to coachmkfleming@gmail.com. I've slowly, because I've got so much email, started like trying to separate my life into different accounts. And then I had to go leave and do this whole amazing fundraising thing, which has been wonderful. But now my inbox is right back to like, I can't. I should have had like the fundraising email, but it doesn't really matter. That's where I'm at. If you haven't heard from me, know that it's not intentional. Know that I love you and I appreciate you. I'm not going anywhere. The podcast is still happening. My Instagrams are still happening. Hopefully you've liked and followed and given me a nice review on my Facebook page. If you have nothing better to do and want to be really helpful, those are 2 awesome things you could do for me. If you like what I do, if you enjoy this at all, leave me a review on iTunes. Those reviews mean a lot. And leave me a review on my Coach MK Facebook page. That's www.facebook.com/coached-and-loved. Yay! And that's that. You know where to find me if you need me, but here I shall be. Oh, one last thought. Go check out my YouTube channel. Yay, it went live today. So my entire back catalog of Twitch is there. Not all, I should say. There are 2 that I didn't export or didn't upload properly, and they're gone from Twitch forever, unfortunately. So that is not a good idea rant with Violet just staring at me in my kitchen from back in October, that's gone. and the if you slow down by a minute per mile, bad runner math race strategy I did for Twin Cities back in October. That unfortunately is gone and lost in the ether too. But everything else, once I figured out how to get that synced and working, is there. I've made some things, not all things, public, but I'm working on names and tagging and descriptions, and that'll take a while. I haven't. Turns out I twitched a whole lot, y'all. It's weird. I didn't think I was doing that much, or it all felt the same, until I started trying to add video description. Oh no, wait, this is the day when I decided to talk about whatever before I started foam rolling. So, and I've created a playlist, and I'm trying to separate it all. So if you're there to look for a how-to on a strength circuit, there's a playlist in my strength circuits and demonstrations. If you're looking for the famous Coach MK word salads where I talk about whatever, I've separated that into a category. Or if you're just there to see my kids being cute, like the time my son hopped on my back during foam rolling and said, "It's like riding a whale." Yeah, that is in my that's in my favorite hits playlist. So if you have other playlists or other suggestions, let me know. Feedback, I'm always happy for it. There's anything you want to see or anything you want to talk about, discussions we want to have, let me know. I'm going to be sending out a survey in a little while to try to see like what it is you guys like want from me. I say that again lovingly because it's going to be a while and I don't know when I'm going to be able to take on new clients from a coaching perspective again. But this stuff I can do, and I'm looking for ways to thank everyone on the nice list. So if you are on the nice list, awesome. You'll be hearing from me in a day or two. Everybody else's survey will probably go out whenever I get through the swamp pile that is my email. Either way, never ever doubt that you are coached and loved and winning at life. Let's check the chat before I go. Your kids are watching Daniel Tiger. Foam roll, Kim, what you doing? Come on. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, I will see you tonight.